What's up, people? What's going on? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? You, the two of us. Hope everybody's doing good. Happy Friday. Happy Friday to everybody out there. To all the beautiful infinite creators. All those creators out there getting it done, making it happen. I salute you guys. I salute you. I salute you. Want to come by, show some love. Haven't showed no love in a little while, so I'm gonna come by and show some love tonight. Feel like showing a little love. Feel like coming by and showing a little love. You know what I'm saying? I hope everybody's doing well. Hope everybody's doing well. Hope everybody is creating and evolving. Creating and evolving as we keep on building. Know we living in a changing world, but focus is what's really key. Your energy, your focus, that's what's really important to what's going on in your universe, what's going on in your life. First things first, I salute you guys. Y'all know that. I salute y'all. Boom. There we go. Can we talk about some things? Can we talk about some things? XIX. What's going on, bro? I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Hope everything is well with you. How are you doing out there in Nevada? I know you doing it, making things popping, big things popping, little things stopping. Shouts out to my guy Nugent XXX. You know what? I got a little something. If y'all wanna holler at your guy, right? Somebody wanna let me see. We there goes that number if y'all want to call in. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying we're gonna do a little something different. We gonna keep growing. We gonna keep going, we gonna keep moving. If you don't see me here, don't worry. I'm just working on some things, putting some plans in action, focusing on the things that I need to focus on. Energy, energy. Uh Universal laws, the laws of cause and effect, the laws of life, the natural laws. Learn those things. Learn those things. Learn those things. And I'm not just saying it just to be saying it. I'm saying don't just be a sayer. Just don't be a person who yap. Be a doer. Practice what it is that you talk about all the time. If you're gonna talk about it, be about it. If you're gonna talk about it, be about it. And that's what it is. That's the big thing. It is one thing to talk about what you should be doing or what you could be doing and what you learning and what you reading, what are you reading, but are you really living a life? Are you really living the life that you want to live? Hey, I'm working every day. I'm never gonna come here and lie to you guys and say I got it all together because I don't. I don't have it all together. I'm a work in progress. I'm on my journey. I'm on my path. Um, I'm growing every day. I'm learning every day. I'm learning. I never say I learn, but I'm learning every day. Please be patient with me. Be patient because I'm growing. I'm growing. And all I could do is my best. Put one foot forward every day. Just one foot forward. I've been checking out, you guys know I've been checking out that the new, let's see, the new been struggling with releasing the project. I just want to be perfect. So I've taken a step back and I'm making sure I don't rush it. But other than that, I just been grinding, trying to get to where I need to be. I feel you. I feel you, X. I feel you, XIX. But you can't. Who's perfect? Who's perfect? When as a kid, I learned he without sin cast the first stone. Nobody's perfect. Sin just means shortcoming, falling short of the goal, falling short. Falling short. There's no such thing as being perfect. If we waited to be perfect, we wouldn't have the computer. If we waited to be perfect, we wouldn't have the car industry. If we waited to be perfect, we wouldn't have a lot of things. Clothes. It wasn't perfect. When you start, it's never going to be perfect. But by all means, you got to start. You have to start. I don't care what nobody says. You got to start. The best definition I have for success. Success is the progressive, working towards a progressive goal or ideal. It's the realization. It's just the realization of working towards a goal or an ideal. What's your ideal? What are you working on? What are you working on? Is it gonna be perfect? Every day ain't perfect, guys. Every day ain't sunshine and flowers. Every day ain't rainbows and unicorns. But you gotta show up. You got to show up. You gotta show up. That's half the battle. I remember watching G.I. Joe. Knowing is half the battle. Knowing is half the battle. What do you know? What do you believe in? How do you want your story to go? Active if it's impossible to fail. You can't fail. You can't fail. But you got to make your mind up and you got to decide that for yourself. I can't decide it for you. I can't. I can't. I'm just in here smoothing it out. I just want to smooth it out, come by, show you guys some love. Hopefully you're doing the work. And that's what this life's really about. I heard that the universe is a university. Life is really about growing. Life is about learning. What are you learning on your journey here? What are you learning? Nobody said it was going to be easy. Who told you it was going to be easy? The question is, are you learning? Did you learn anything today? What was the attitude? Was the attitude gratitude, or was the attitude just, I can't be perfect today? You decide what the attitude is. Are you going to go to bed with your goal on your mind? Are you going to go to bed being a wandering generality? That's your choice. That's your choice. Whether you realize it or not, whether you know it or not. And I know it's hard because for a lot of times I know it's hard to maintain a goal, to keep that goal, that to have a be a actualizing human being and realizing that you have an ideal and you have something that you're striving for, something that gets you out of bed in the morning, something that you're working towards. And you have to keep that in your mind. You have to keep that has to be the main thing. Keep the main thing the main thing. You see what I'm saying? Keep the main thing, not the side thing. You want the main thing to stay the main thing. Like if you go out to dinner and you go to a restaurant, you have the hors d'oeuvres, you have the appetizers, then you have the main course. You have your side salad, but then you got the main course. What's the main course? You get to decide what's the main course on your journey. Are you doing the work? I look at the books I have. I'm like, man, I got to read this. I got to read that. It's not that you get to. You get to. What can you learn today? What is on the agenda for tomorrow? What's the plan? It's easy to say. These things are easy. Some things are easier said than done. Easier said than done. But all you got to do is put one step in front of the other and keep showing up. But don't forget that doing the same thing over and over without a result or getting the result that you want, that's insanity. That's insanity. Don't just keep on doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. If what you're doing is not working for you right now in life, maybe you need to switch it up. Maybe it's time to get out of first gear and get in the second gear. Maybe it's time to get out of second and get in the third. maybe it's time to open it up. You're not going to always have the answers before you move. You got to get going, and then the answers will start coming to you. Picking up what I'm putting down, you got to get going. If you're looking for the answers before you get started, you're never going to get started. Sometimes you just got to go, and the answers will show up. The answers will show up. Have faith in you. Have faith in yourself. Believe in yourself. You can do it. You could do it. Whatever it is that you set your mind to, you could do it. You could do it. I don't care what they tell you. I don't care who did it and didn't succeed at it. I don't care where you are in life. You could do it. You could do it. You just got to know what you really want. And you have to make your mind up. Today, you got to say, hey, I'm not bullshitting no more. I'm tired of bullshitting. And it's time for me to pick my game up. Are you willing to step your game up? What are you willing to do? And I don't even like the term success, because success can be defined as a lot of different things. You may be successful because you got a roof over your head. You might be successful because you drive a car. You might be successful because you have employment. You might be successful because you have your health and your strength. You might be successful because you're around loved ones and people you care about. So you could find you may be successful because of money and things. Success can be defined in a lot of different ways. How are you defining success in your life? How are you defining success in your life? What does success look like in your life? I was listening to something yesterday and they said, well, if you want to manifest money, and it was funny. It's like, if you want to manifest money, close your eyes and start counting $100 bills in your mind and just start counting them. I was like, that's interesting, but it's techniques. A lot of things in this life are just tools to help you reach a state of higher vibration, higher consciousness, higher awareness. They're just tools. Whether it's crystals, whether it's pendants, whether it's your ritual. And most people, when you talk about rituals, they don't really understand what rituals are. Brushing your teeth is a ritual. Taking a shower or bath, that's a ritual. Getting dressed in the morning, putting your socks on and your clothes, those are rituals. Sometimes people make it seem spooky or make it seem like it's something other than what it really is. What are your practices? Praying, that's a ritual. Meditating, that's a ritual. Cleaning your house, that's a ritual. Exercising, ritual. It's your habits that create who you are. It's your practice. It's your practice, is what you're practicing that makes you who you are. If you practice gratitude, remember, whatever you put out in the universe, that's what comes back to you. That's a law. The 80-20 principle, that's a law. What you focus on is what you're getting back. It's time to think about what it is that you really want to manifest in your life, that you really want to come into your life. You always hear people talking about manifesting and this and that, but the reality of things is there's so many things going on in our lives every day that we have to deal with. How do you stay centered? How do you get focused? What do you do? What are some of the rituals? Do you burn candles? Do you burn incense? Do particular stones help you ground yourself? Do you go for walks? Do you speak to yourself? What are the things that you're saying to yourself? Are you positive? Are you expectant? Remember, you are co-creating all the time. You're evoluting all the time. Whether it's in thought, it's in mind, but it's where your focus and your attention is. And I know a lot of times it may sound easy, but it's your rituals, it's your practice, it's your habits of thought. What's your habit of thought life? What's your thought life? The kingdom is at hand. The kingdom is at hand. It's now. Are you running the kingdom? Are you ruling the kingdom? Or is the thoughts ruling you? Thoughts are things. Thoughts are things. Decide what you're going to think about. Where do thoughts come from? That's a good one. Where do thoughts come from? These are the things. Sometimes we feel like people don't acknowledge us, or people don't respect us, or people don't agree with us. But at the end, what frequency you're on, what are you emanating, how are you vibrating? I don't expect everybody to agree with me, but I expect you to challenge my thinking. I expect you to pour a little water on me so I can grow. Remember, iron sharpens iron. Iron sharpens iron. There's nothing wrong with being by yourself. There's nothing wrong with contemplating where you are in life. There's nothing wrong with sitting down and thinking about where you want to go in life. But we all need each other. We need people in order to help us accomplish what the things that we want. If you're starting a business today, you know what you're going to need eventually? Even if you don't have anybody, you're going to need people. People are going to have to believe in what it is that you're selling, whether you're selling them on themselves or you're selling them on a product or whatever. When you go to the store and you hand over your hard-earned money to buy goods and services, you're showing faith that, hey, I believe in the things that I'm getting and I need these things, so I'm going to give you my hard-earned pesos. I'm going to give you my rubles. I'm going to give you my francs. I'm going to give you my denarii. I'm going to give you my cash, my kazash, because I need the services that you provide and the products. But there has to be an exchange. An exchange. What are you saying to the world? What's your exchange? What are you exchanging? What does your energy look like? What does your aura look like? What did your aura look like? Whatever you put out, that's what will come back to you. And we have to be careful of the thoughts that we have. Very careful. And I know everybody want to say, "Oh, I got it together. Oh, I got my shit together. I'm doing my thing." Guys, every day, one step at a time. One step at a time. Not two steps. One step. The only way to eat an elephant is one bite at a time. The only way to eat an elephant is one bite at a time. Only you know where you want to go. Only you know where you want to be. So just take your time, take a deep breath. Woo! Be grateful. Be grateful. But manifest the things that you want. You said, Chris, how do you do that? Focus. Where is your attention? Where is your attention? Remember, scattered thinking and thinking all over the place, it's going to be harder to get things done because you are all over the place. Your thoughts are all over the place. Your mind is all over the place. There has to be a process where you zone in, get down to the nitty gritty, and you focus. You get a list, you create a list, and you go down that list and don't stop with the first one until you get it done. It's not time to bunks all around. You can't bunks all around. Get it done one thing at a time. That's the only way you can really do it. because you're spreading your energy all over the place. And I know we live in the age of multitasking. Oh, I could do this. I've got 10 windows open on my computer. I got my tablet, my phone. I got books. I've got my music software. I've got my editing software. But sometimes you just got to focus on where it is that you really want to be, where it is that you really going. One step at a time. One step at a time. You're not going to get it done any faster than that. What's the main goal? I don't care. Google the Ivy Lee principle. Ivy Lee. Look at his principle. Look at his method. Check out what he did. Check out what he did. If you could implement the Ivy Lee principle in your life, meaning do one thing at a time and stick with the job until the job is done. Stick with the task until it's done. Until it's done. The problem is, and I'm at fault for it as well, because I'll read one book, I'll stop it, my mind will go to another book, I'll get into that. You know what? I'll read a chapter or two, I'm putting it down, I'm on to something else. I'll start working on some music, focus on that for like 30 minutes, and I get bored. I get bored, and then I'm off to something else. I'm off to something else. Discipline. Easy to say. These people, it's easy to say I got discipline and I do this and I get up early and I stay up late. Yeah, fine. But are you productive? There's a difference from being busy and being productive. Are you just busy, or are you being productive? Are you being productive? A lot of times I feel like I'm just busy. I'm just busy. But if you don't know what the goal is, how are you going to achieve it? If you don't define who you are, the world will define who you are. They will tell you what you are. They will tell you what your product is. But it's up to you to define out what you're putting out into the universe. Let a person examine themselves. I have to examine myself every day. I have to examine me. I don't feel like showing up every day to a lot of things. But if you don't decide for yourself what it is that you want, how are you going to get there? How? Ain't no way. Boy, ain't no way. You're just going to run in circles. You know, like the proverbial dog chasing his tail. Let's stop chasing our tail, people. Let's stop chasing our tail. Draw your line in the sand. Let's stop making excuses. Excuses are monumental bridges to nowhere. Excuses are monumental bridges to nowhere. You're going somewhere. You're going somewhere. You get to decide where you're going. But are you really willing to do the work? Don't focus on the work. Nobody asks when a woman's having a baby, they don't say, did it hurt having a baby? They don't ask you about the pain. They just want to see the baby. Show me the baby. Show me the baby. What are you gonna go through? I was talking to someone the other day and I said, a lot of time people don't see the hard times. People don't see when you were struggling. And this goes for businesses, this goes for successful people who, when I say successful, people who are winning at whatever it is that they're doing, or people who are doing the things that they want to do. People who are doing the things that they want to do. And what the world usually don't see, they don't see all the hard work that went in before that person started. They don't see the dance lessons. They don't see the singing lessons. They don't see the schools. They don't see the apprenticeship. They don't see the mentoring. They don't see the education. They don't see all the hard work. They don't see the sleepless nights. They don't see the practice. They don't see a lot of that stuff. All they see is the finished product. It takes me to when I was in high school. My goal was to go to college and play football in college. And as a player, you didn't care about. You didn't even think about practice. Practice? Practice? What you thought about was Sunday and Saturdays playing in front of 100,000 people, playing in front of 30 or 40,000 people. Nobody cared about practice. You knew what the next goal was. So you focused on the next goal. The next goal was to get to the next level. I don't care how you get there, but that's what the goal was. That was the focus. So if it took going to the weight room or going to the Y, if it took working out with my friends, if it took doing a little extra, I was willing to do that because I knew what the end goal was. What's your end goal? What's your end goal? Are you willing to go through the heartache? Are you willing to go through the hardship? Are you willing to go through the pain? Are you willing? Remember, pain is a sign of growth. Pain is a sign of growth. Are you willing to do it? Nobody ever, and when you read these stories, nobody ever tell you, oh, it just happened for me. It just happened. It don't just happen, people. It don't just happen. Nothing from nothing leaves nothing. You've got to put in the work. You've got to prime the pump. You've got to prime the pump. So you got one day and you started walking one day. One day turns into two. Two turns into three. Three turns into a week. A week turns into 2 weeks. 2 weeks turn into a month. A month turns into 6 months. 6 months turns into a year. Can you hang in there long enough? Can you be consistent long enough? I get it. I hear it when I get to the channel. OG, you got to be more consistent. We need you. And OG's like, well, I've got other commitments. Nobody cares about your story. Nobody cares about what you got to do. You know what you need to do. You need to get it done. You got to get it done. I got to get it done. I can't make excuses. And especially if you got other people who are dependent on you and who are relying on you, who's coming to save you? Who's coming to save you? I had to learn that early on in my journey. Nobody was coming to save me. And it hurt sometimes. And I wanted to cry sometimes. Hell, I did cry sometimes. Shit, I still cry sometimes. But that's not going to make the situation any better. I tell you what, cry, wipe your eyes, get up again, and get going. Get going. Get going. This is your journey. This is your story. Are you going to be triumphant? Are you going to be victorious? Are you going to lay down on the ground, whining, crying? You decide. I decide. There's something that I need to learn here on my path. There's something that I need to learn. I can't worry what Billy Bob is doing. I can't worry about Sister Mary, what she's doing. I can't worry about a lot of things, but I can be grateful for where I am and I could put out more than what I've received. Today I was telling my kids, if somebody's paying you $10 to do something, you give them $12 worth of work. Give them extra. Go the extra mile. Don't say, why should I have to work that hard? Why should I break my neck at doing that? They don't do it, so why should I do it? I remember when I was a kid and my grandparents would say, and obviously I got it from my grandparents, my parents, they would say, If you're going to be a street sweeper, be the best street sweeper there is. If you're going to be a custodian, be the best. If you're going to cut grass, be the best. Whatever you do, put your all into it. Put your being in it. Put everything in it. And I know you're saying, well, that's easy said than done. It's easier said than done. But are you willing? Are you willing to give people more than what they pay for? Are you willing to go the extra mile? Are you willing to serve? Are you willing to serve? Service. Service. Ask not what your ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you could do for your country. That call to action. 19 in the 60s, JFK. Ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what can you do for your country. Imagine if more of our this generation or more of the people would say, what can we do for the country? Instead of being divided by politics, instead of being divided by race, instead of being divided by religion, having a common goal. That's what great leaders do. Great leaders empower you to benefit the whole. Ask not what your country can do for you. Listen to that call to action. Ask what can you do for your country. Ask not what your family can do for you. What can you do for your family? Ask not what your job can do for you. Ask what you can do for your job. It's time that we flip it. It's time that we switch it up. We're here to serve. And what that does is that changes your focus. Your focus. I'm here to give more. More. And I know it seems contrary because you said, well, OG, I don't have it. I don't have anything to give. You've got time. You've got talent. You've got resources. Too many of us are focusing on ourselves. And we're not giving anything. But we're expecting so much more than what we're even giving. That's the difference between this generation and the generations that came before us. That's the difference. The people who came before us were willing to work. They were willing to grow. They were willing to sacrifice. They were willing to do that for their country. They were willing to do that for their families. Now we look around and we don't even know we can't even identify the landscape. Everything looks foreign. Everything looks foreign because we don't want to lead. Lead, follow, or get out the way. Everybody talks about waking up. Everybody's talking about being more conscious. Our consciousness is being aware. Once you become aware, then what are you going to do? How are you going to change? You're aware, so you're up. You see what's going on. You understand what's going on around you. But what are you going to do to make the situation better? Are you going to be a part of the problem? Or are you going to be part of the solution? Are you going to be a part of the problem? Or are you going to be a part of the solution? The choice is yours. I always say that. Lead, follow, or get out the way. I don't want to be a part of the problem. How can we solve the problem? How can we solve the problem? What are you willing to do to solve the problem? We all have problems in this life. There's nobody who don't have any problems in this life. We all have problems in this life. Every last one of us. The day you stop having problems, you will transition and you won't have any problems on this plane. Nobody gets out of life alive. Nobody gets out of life unscathed. Nobody gets out of life without any problems. Problems are there to help you grow. Problems are there to make you stronger. Obstacles help you build you up. You overcome one obstacle, then another one's going to show up. You get over that obstacle or you get over that challenge, and guess what? Another one's going to come. That's life. That's life. What are you willing to do? Ask not what your situation can do for you. Ask what you could do for the situation. If you don't have the circumstances that you want, make the circumstances that you desire. Create the circumstance that you desire. You say, well, I live in a tough area. Well, change. You could change. You could change. That's the real thing. You could change. If you really want it, you could change. But it's gonna take you working on you. It's gonna take me working on me. I can say, oh, I want to lose 30 pounds. I want to lose 20 pounds. I want to lose 10 pounds. Yeah, it's easy for me to say. It's easy for me to say. But the real work is am I willing to discipline myself? Am I willing to learn, retrain myself? Or I'm gonna keep on blaming programming. I'm gonna keep on blaming my mom and daddy for what they fed me. Am I gonna keep on blaming not knowing? Okay. Now you could identify the problem. Now you could work on it. Now you could work on it. Are you willing to identify the problem and work on it? Or are you just gonna keep on blaming everything else other than you? I look at myself, I say, well, I could have did better. I could do better. I can do better. Can you do better? Can you do better? Who are you becoming? Who are you becoming? What are they gonna say about you? Are they gonna say you came, you saw, and you conquered? Are they gonna say nobody's gonna know who you are? Or nobody's gonna know what you did, or you didn't do anything. You just showed up. You just showed up. Everybody has a purpose here. But I'm not here to tell you what your purpose is. Your job is to live it. Your job is to find it. Your job is to eat it and breathe it and sleep it. That's what your job is. Every day's not going to be perfect. I'll be the first person to tell you that. Every day's not going to be perfect. But you get to show up. You get to show up. And you get to decide how you show up. Do you want to show up in style? Or do you want to walk there? You get to decide. How do you want your story to go? Are you willing to do the work? And I'm at a point on my journey, it's like, yeah, I got to put in more work. I got to put in more work. And in this new world, this new reality, the new normal that a lot of people have, the landscapes change. The landscapes change. And the problem is, people are still trying to live like they lived prior to 2020. We're in 2022 and we're still trying to live like we're in 2019. Guys, we're not in 2019. We're not in 2019. Dorothy, you're not in Kansas anymore. You're not in Kansas anymore. Who's willing to pull the curtain back? Who's willing to pull the curtain back to find the wizard? Who's gonna pull the curtain back in their life to find the wizard? In order to change, you gotta find the wizards. The who is running your life? Who's controlling your life? Who you blaming? Who you blaming? Are you blaming the circumstance? Are you blaming the past? Are you blaming yourself? What are you blaming? The question is, who's willing to pull the curtain back? Who's willing to pull the curtain back and see the wizard? I'm off to see the wizard, the wonderful wizard of all. Like Charlie said in the, Charlie in Willy Wonka in the Chocolate Factory. Charlie had a golden ticket. Charlie had a golden ticket. I found a golden ticket. I found a golden ticket. The real deal is everybody has a golden ticket. The truth is, are you willing to use your golden ticket? Do you know what your golden ticket is? Yes, I do. Your golden ticket is your mind. You got a golden ticket. Acres of diamonds, right where you're standing. The mind. But if you don't go work in and you don't dig for it, how you gonna know? How you gonna find the answers? It's all here. But you've gotta use that. You've got to go and find that space. You've got to create a place where you could dig in that mine and in the deep resources in that mine. It's the last undiscovered resource in the universe. The mind. The mind. You've got a golden ticket. You got one. The question is, are you going to use it? Are you going to keep on bitching and complaining and crying about where you are in life? Are you going to use your golden ticket? Because if you don't use your golden ticket, somebody else will use it for you. Whether it's an employer, whether it's other people, whether it's, I don't care. If you don't use your golden ticket, if you don't use your noodles, if you don't use your medulla, if you don't use your noggin, somebody else will. Somebody else will. You said, well, what does it take for me to use my mind? First, you got to understand. You got to get some kind of framework to know what it is and how to use it. The computer's designed after you, after your mind, after your thinking, the software and the hardware. The hardware is the conscious mind. The software is the subconscious mind. You guys don't realize that the computer was modeled after your mind. That's what it was. And applications. We all got applications that we run all the time. You've got applications to clean the house, clean the car, earn income, spend money. You've got applications to do everything. Everything. But are you willing to upgrade your computer? Are you willing to upgrade? Let me upgrade you. Are you willing to upgrade the software? Are you? Are you protecting the software? You got that antivirus protection on that mind? Or you just let anything wander its way into your mind? Are you just sitting there just putting it, filtering your mind with anything? Or are you protecting it? When you learn how to use your golden ticket, when you learn how to use your noggin, you think and grow rich. And people thinking and growing rich means you're gonna grow rich financially, but you grow rich in a lot of ways. You grow rich emotionally, you grow rich spiritually, you grow rich in a lot of ways. But you have to learn how to use the mind. Read books on the mind. Study yourself. Study yourself. Become the observer. Guess what that takes, guys? It takes work. You know what? And a lot of us don't want to do the work. We want it to come easy. We want it to come easy. We want to cast a spell. We want to do a ritual. We want something quick. We want a scheme. We want something quick. We want a Ponzi scheme. Henry Ford said opportunity is always there, but it's dressed in overalls. Henry Ford says opportunity is always there, but it's dressed in overalls. Meaning you got to do the work. You opportunity is there, but we're not willing to do the work. We're not willing to serve. We're not willing to go digging. We don't want to go digging in the resources of our minds. We don't want to do that. Imagine if the people who came before you did that, or didn't want to go, or didn't want to seek for a better way, didn't want a better way, didn't want to work. Imagine we wouldn't be here. We wouldn't have the things that we have. Now is not the time to get tired. Now is not the time to get tired. Now is the time to focus, zone in, zone in. You are the dynamo. You are the dynamo. You are the dynamo. The creator has given you everything you need. Everything. Everything. You've got a mind. Use it. What does that mean? Even if you get a great idea, guess what? You still have to execute. Are you willing to act on that idea when you get that idea? Are you willing? When you get the idea, are you willing to create that list? Are you willing to send out those flyers? Are you willing to sit down and focus on the work? People don't talk about that. They talk about manifesting. They don't never talk about the fucking work. Excuse my language. They never talk about the work. You see these fantastic athletes, you see these fantastic actors, you see these superstars, but what they never show you or what they never tell you is the work and the determination and the grit and the grind and how many times they've got pounded on and how many times they got beat up. Nobody tells you that. How many times they cried, how many times they hurt. Nobody want to tell you that. Nobody's going to tell you that. But that's what makes champions. That's what makes champions. You're gonna get beat up in life at times. You're gonna get knocked on at times. Is how are you going to respond? How are you gonna respond? I was talking to the kids tonight earlier. I said you get to choose and decide where do you want to be on the social economic ladder. Where you get to choose where you want to be on the social economic ladder. Now, I didn't learn this until I was much older. So I figured if I could teach my kids this when they're young, then they'll be able to make a decision. You could be an E, which is an employee. You could be an S, which is self-employed. You could have a B, which is a business, and an I, which is an investor. Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. You get to choose. You want to be a B, which is a business? Awesome. You want to be an I? They call it the BI. That's the side of the quadrant you want to be on. You can be an investor. That's great. Your money's working for you. You've learned how to, you figured it out. You've learned how to get it to let your money work for you opposed to you working for your money. You've grown your income. You could be an E, which is the worst. Earned income. You're gonna get taxed before. You're gonna get taxed before on that money, and you're gonna get taxed when you go to the store. The worst kind of money you want. You could have portfolio. You could have residual income. You could have paper. You could have a lot of different. You could have a lot of different type of resources. Or you want to be the self-employed. A business is usually a system that runs without you being there, so it's not dominating your time. It can run without you, and you're earning money based off of the system. That's what a business is, and that's what it's designed for. An investor means you've earned enough money and you've created enough money that your money's working and you know how to make your money work based on your knowledge and your information. That's what an investor do. But a self-employed, if you don't go to work, you're not gonna earn any money. And an employee, which is the S and the E, doctors are S's, accountants could be an S, a dentist is an S, but let them not go to the job today. They're not going to earn any money. You got to know the difference. Get Rich Dad, Poor Dad. You got to have that in your library. Learn financial literacy. And it's work. It's work. But don't wait for things and people to change your life. You got to do that. The education. It's one thing when you get it out the book. It's one thing when you get it out the book. And it's another thing when you live it and you act it and you breathe it and you taste it and you smell it. It's a difference. It's a complete difference. It's a complete difference. Read the books, but apply what it is that you've learned. Apply. Study to show yourself approval. Apply. There's a lot of things that you know, but are you applying what you know? That's the real game changer. You may know. So what? You can give great advice, but are you doing it? That's the thing about being online. Are you doing it? Are you just telling people? So when you pull a curtain back on the wizard, is your life reflecting what you're saying? Is your life reflecting what you're talking about? Is your life really reflecting that? It's time to pull the curtain back on the wizard. It's time to use your golden ticket. It's time to zero in on what it is that you really want. It's time for you to say enough is enough. Enough is enough. Not what you could do for me. What can I do for you? How can I serve you? Be a go-giver. Be a go-giver. Because if the trick is, I don't want to call it a trick. If the principle or the law is you give back what you give, then I need to be given more or given what I desire. But if I'm just sitting here waiting and expecting something to happen or something to change, who am I kidding? Sitting there waiting for it and expecting it is one thing, but doing something for it, putting in the work, the fastest way to learn, the fastest way to learn something, people, the fastest way to learn something is to do it. Do it. Stop lollygagging. Stop faking the funk. Stop playing with yourself. The fastest way to do it is to jump in. The fastest way to learn it is to jump in and get busy. Are you going to make mistakes? Yes. It's called learning. You can't get out of it without making mistakes. So for all these people to say they did it and they didn't make no mistake and they got the best deal of their life and they win, I mean, tell them to knock it off. Nobody's perfect. Nothing's perfect. You want to be a better producer? Produce. Produce. What are you going to learn? You're going to learn what works and what doesn't work. The only way you learn what works and what doesn't work is by doing it. There comes a time when the rubber has to meet the road. And that's what I'm telling you guys right now. The time is now for the rubber to meet the road. Don't wait for life to force you to change. Don't wait for life to back you into a corner before you come out swinging. Start swinging now. Start swinging now. Learn the things that's going to make your life different. Learn the things that's going to make your life better. So they think you a joke. Let them laugh. Let them have fun. Laugh now, cry later. Laugh now, cry later. Stop focusing on the things that don't pertain to you. Focus on the things that you could change. You could start with one simple thing. Start with one simple thing. You don't have to do everything right now. You don't have to do the big thing now. Start with one thing. What is one thing that you need to work on? Work on that one thing. Work on that one thing. What most of us don't realize is our mind is a muscle. Our mind is a muscle. And when we learn how to use it and we do one thing, then we grow by doing something else. Then we'll get more. We'll be able to do more. We'll be able to do more. We'll be able to do more if we just keep on doing the things that we need to do in order to get us to where we want to go. The key's where we want to go. If you want something bad enough, you'll do it. You'll do it. You just don't want it bad enough. You got to sit back and say, what do I really want? What do I really want? Not what everybody else want. Not what everybody else want. What do you really want? You say, well, I'm too old. I'm 50, I'm 60, I'm 70. I'm too old. I'm too old. I'm too young. I'm too young. It's too late. It's never too late. It's never too late. All it takes is a made up mind. All it takes is a made up mind. Either you gonna believe what they say about you, or you're gonna believe what you believe about you and what you say about you. Are you gonna believe what they're telling you? Or are you gonna go find out on your own? Like I said, reading the books and getting the information and going on the internet, oh, that's cool. But are you applying what you're learning? Are you really applying the universal laws? Are you even looking for universal laws? Fully applying that to your life? Are you doing that? It takes work. It takes work. You got to put it in the bag. You got to go to the grocery store and put it in the bag. This is the new world. Some people call it the fourth dimension. Some people call it the fifth dimension. Some people call it a lot of different things. It don't matter what you call it. But you can't live like it's 2019 because it's not 2019. It's not. The question is, are you willing to change? Are you going to change? Or are you just going to take whatever they give you? You're going to take what they give you? That's on you. That's on you. All right? Came here and ran my mouth too much. Didn't expect to do that. I had to just get that off my chest. I want to talk about the Look at Me documentary. I'll probably do that tomorrow. And we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. I hope you've been able to get something out of this and you could take something on your journey. Ask not what your job could do for you. What can you do for your job? Ask not what your family could do for you. We already know. What can you do for your family? Ask not what you could do for your country. In the immortal words of John F. K. JFK, and the immortal words, ask not what your country can do for you. What can you do for your country? That's the rally cry. We need to stop being selfish and we need to open our eyes. Either we live together in harmony or we die separately as fools. I mean, it doesn't matter. We either going to learn to live together or we going to die as fools until we figure it out. Till we figure it out. So I'm not going to stay here anymore. I salute you guys. Thank you for rocking with the OG. I'm out. Have a great Friday night. Peace. You guys take care. Thanks for rocking with me.